Today, we hear a story from a young brother, and his experience sheds light on aspects of life we might often overlook. Let's dive right in. Hello, my name is Chris Corton, and I went through this life-changing experience in September 2023. I had just graduated from school and began working in the entertainment industry. Initially, I didn't really feel connected to my coworkers, but over time, I noticed something crucial was missing in their lives. There was no respect or fear of God in anything they did. At first, I wasn't too bothered, thinking it was just part of the industry culture. But soon, their carefree attitude towards spirituality started to impact me in ways I hadn't expected. Before I knew it, I was swept up in things I never imagined. Our days were consumed by intense work schedules, late-night parties, drinking, and even drug use. Casual relationships and reckless behavior became the norm. Deep down, I knew I was veering off course, but I convinced myself it wasn't that bad. Everyone else was doing it, after all. Looking back, I now see how my friend's influence pulled me further from God, and I allowed it to happen without much resistance. It's astounding how easily one can be led astray. Then everything came to a breaking point. My boss, Gustavo, had a terrible temper, and being around him was like walking on eggshells. Even the smallest issue could set him off, so we all tried to avoid confrontation. But one day, things took a sudden turn. What began as a simple conversation in the office spiraled out of control. We were all gathered, chatting, when something about my paycheck slipped out, and his expression darkened immediately. Words escalated into a heated argument. Despite my efforts to calm him, his rage was unstoppable. In front of everyone, Gustavo stormed toward me, shouting, and then shoved me hard. I stumbled, lost my balance, and fell out of the office's large window. Everything felt like it slowed down, and all I could feel was fear and regret as I fell. In that instant, my entire life flashed before me. I realized just how far I had drifted from God, ignoring Him for the sake of fleeting pleasures. Then, suddenly, I found myself lying on the ground, but I sensed I was no longer in this world. My soul seemed free from my body, and as my vision cleared, I found myself in a terrifying place, engulfed in flames with the echoes of spirit screams filling the air. I was in hell, and there was no doubt about it. It was exactly as the Bible describes. I saw spirits writhing in agony, each consumed by regret and suffering, realizing too late they had wasted their lives on earth by turning away from God. Then, amidst the flames and screams, I heard a melody, which at first seemed comforting. But I soon realized it was a song from my past, one I often listened to on earth. My favorite songs were being used as instruments of torture in hell. I could hear well-known melodies from artists like Michael Jackson's Thriller, Madonna's Like a Prayer, Lady Gaga's Bad Romance, and Rihanna's Umbrella. Each song intensified the torment of the souls who once enjoyed them, echoing around us like weapons of torture. It became clear that the songs, which once seemed so harmless, had now become tools that separated souls from God. Many spirits in hell had once loved these songs, and each familiar note deepened their agony. The melodies had become traps, fueling regret as they realized how far they had fallen. Some of these spirits had even known Jesus, but worldly pleasures and music had pulled them away from Him, leaving them in endless despair. The torment didn't end with popular music. Rock songs filled the air as well, with dark, haunting tones from bands like Metallica, Nirvana, and AC/DC amplifying the hopelessness of the spirits who once adored them. Each note seemed to remind them of their decisions, with the music intensifying their suffering. Suddenly, a ray of light broke through, filling me with hope. I felt the presence of God's love, and I prayed, "Lord, forgive me. Pull me out of this darkness." As I prayed, the light grew stronger, and I felt a sense of peace washing over me. I heard a voice, the voice of Jesus, silencing the pain and chaos around me. In that moment, Jesus told me to enter through the narrow gate, Matthew 7 verse 13, and I realized how much I needed to leave behind the world's temptations and follow His path fully. When I woke up in the hospital, covered in bandages, The physical pain was nothing compared to the emotional transformation I felt. God's love had reached me in the darkest of places, giving me a second chance. I saw the importance of surrounding myself with people who brought me closer to God, and I became more mindful of what I allowed into my life, especially music. This experience changed me forever. Jesus showed me the power of His love and the emptiness of worldly pleasures. If my story resonates with you, I encourage you to seek God and surround yourself with influences that bring you closer to Him. Thank you for listening. At that moment, I didn't know how to right all the wrongs, but I was fighting for my soul to escape this nightmare. Remorse flooded my heart, and I began praying to God for help. I was close to accepting eternal agony, just like the souls around me, but then something within me shifted. In the middle of the darkness, a light appeared, casting hope into my soul. This light was a reminder of God's love. I closed my eyes and prayed deeply, "Lord, forgive me. Pull me out of this darkness. I know I turned my back on you, but now I'm returning. Don't leave me." The light grew even brighter, surrounding me. I began to feel not only the flames and pain, but also a sense of peace. God's love filled me, and I knew He was listening. Then, suddenly, I heard a voice that silenced everything around me. It was Jesus. He stood there, surrounded by light, reaching His hands out to me. The pain, the screams, the music, all of it went quiet. Jesus approached and spoke, "Don't be afraid. I'm here. I called out to you before, but you didn't listen. Now that your soul has returned to me, I'm giving you one more chance. I'll save you, but you need to turn back to God with all your heart." Jesus' eyes were filled with love, but I could see the seriousness in them too. I understood that my soul needed to fully surrender to God to be healed. With tears streaming down my face, I cried, "Forgive me, Lord. I turned my back on you. Now I want to walk only in your way. Guide me." He continued, smiling, "I'm here for the salvation that was promised. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old is gone, the new is here." 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17. "You can cleanse your soul and follow me. This world led you astray, but you can still return. The Lord is near to all who call on Him, to all who call on Him in truth." Psalm 145 verse 18. This is your moment to return to God. His words cut deep, and God's love began to dispel the darkness of hell from within me. Jesus spoke again, "Turn to God and find the way to heaven that awaits you. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it." Matthew 7 verse 13. The narrow gate is still open for you. Follow me, and you will find this path. In that moment, my soul felt renewed. Jesus' teachings were etched into my heart. The whispers of the devil, the darkness of hell, and the allure of the world no longer held power over me. His love and forgiveness were stronger. When I awoke in the hospital, the physical pain of my burns and scars was nothing compared to the transformation I had experienced. But healing wasn't easy. Every scar reminded me of the dark times I went through, and the outside world continued, seemingly indifferent. Friends I once trusted disappeared, unable to handle my new reality, leaving me feeling alone. Tasks that were once easy became challenges. My friend, who was with me during the incident, ran away, leaving me with the weight of betrayal and anger. Despite the hardships, I remembered the second chance Jesus gave me. His love and forgiveness gave me strength, and a community of believers became a light in my life. What I went through showed me the importance of surrounding myself with people who bring me closer to God. Choose friends who uplift you, and avoid those who lead you away from Him. Music also played a big role. My experience showed me that the music we listen to can affect our souls. Songs I once loved had become chains dragging me into darkness, but now I choose music that glorifies God, bringing me closer to Him. This world is full of distractions, but by making the right choices, we can lead lives of purpose and meaning. Thank you for listening to my story. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and share this story with others who might need it. God's love and forgiveness are endless, so turn back to Him. Thank you.